He was HIV positive.
Well, Willard, thanks very much for that update. Jose?
Hollywood police are calling off their search for a swimmer who was reported missing yesterday. Witnesses reported seeing a swimmer get into trouble in the waters off of Hollywood Beach and go under. Wasn't seen since then. Police and the Coast Guard searched all day yesterday, but found nothing. The Gordon problem is expected to continue throughout the day. Some of the most serious problems closest to the beaches. Channel 4's Hank Tester has been weathering Gordon all morning long, and he joins us now live on Miami Beach. Hank.
Well, Jose, some good news just for a second here. We have a bit of a lull. We have sunshine and blue skies peeking through the clouds, but about every 15 minutes we get a band of rain and wind through here, which down home we call a real frog strangler. Let's take a look. Same story, different day. Day 2 of Gordon slamming into the South Florida coast. Coconut Grove, trees uprooted at a shopping center. Boats loose in the Dinner Key Marina. The seawall under siege from Gordon. The big problem in Miami Beach, water, flooding, plenty of it. Locals forced to hoof it through the deep stuff. This lady stalled her car, needs help to move it. There go the dry socks, folks, but we can help this lady out, you know what I mean? These kind of problems all morning long on the beach.
I'm stuck. I can go to college and can go to work, so I'm stuck here. I'm trying to get a taxi to take a bus to go to my school.
And how to stay out of the rain? You drive your car almost into the front of the supermarket. Making do. You gotta cope, something South Florida residents are doing plenty of this day.
Oh, it can't be helped, that's all. It's a bad situation, that's all there is to it. Nothing else you can do about it. Take it for what it is.
That are dealing with it, I counted 30 surfers out there enjoying waves they don't normally get here in the Atlantic Ocean. Very similar conditions to what you normally find in the Pacific, the big waves. Anyway, they're happy. The rest of the folks, well, they could probably live without Gordon. Reporting live from South Point on Miami Beach, Hank Tester, Channel 4 News.
Hank, yesterday cleaning up the streets of Coconut Grove, today helping out ladies with car problems. I wish I bumped into you if I ever have a problem.
Hey, we're on top of it.
One of the biggest problems facing South Floridians is the massive number.
The Channel 4 News at 4:30.
Welcome back. You may be feeling one of the major effects of Tropical Storm Gordon right in your wallet. It could affect everybody's dinner table.
We're going to tell you why in today's 4:30 Focus. Some 35,000 acres of prime South Florida crops, all kinds of vegetables and fruits, were ruined by the storm, literally swamped. And that could have a big effect on grocery store prices on those items.
Channel 4's Hank Tester is down in South Dade at a grocery store in Homestead with our 4:30 Focus. Hank?
Well, I'm at the Ultra Supermarket in downtown Homestead, and here's the next place that Gordon's going to get you. For example, this corn will probably come as much as $2 for a package just like this. And the reason why is because the fields here in the Homestead, Florida City area are flooded, and that means no product, and that means the prices are going to go up. Let's take a look. The vegetable fields of South Florida. Gordon put them underwater. This potato field in serious trouble.
They were just coming up, and they've spent 48 hours underwater.
Yeah, these are in shock right here, or...
they're wilted. Yeah.
They're dying.
They're wilted. Suffocating, the lack of oxygen. We're assuming all this will die up top, but it's these little suckers coming out at the base, like that right there. Will that come out and make a new plant?
A good percentage of the winter vegetable crop is ruined. Estimates from the Dade County Farm Bureau, potatoes, 25% of the crop planted, 100% loss. Sweet corn, 33% of the crop planted, 85 to 100% loss. Green beans, 30% of the crop planted, 85% loss. Peppers, 100% of crop planted, 60% loss. Flooded fields, dead plants mean no crop. Prices for vegetables will be going up, way up. Just ask this retailer.
Potatoes and corn and tomatoes are going to be astronomical.
Come February, when potatoes like this one were supposed to come out of the ground, you're going to be paying a lot more than 50 cents a pound.
Oh, God. Then we'll be in trouble because we need the vegetables.
just buy two for 43 cents.
Not for much longer. Prices will be going up as early as next week, thanks to Gordon. Vegetables ready to be harvested were damaged, and there won't be much more coming out of fields like this for some time. About 50% of all the winter vegetables come out of the South Florida area, and so this is not only going to affect us here in South Florida, but as a state official said, Thanksgiving is going to be a little more expensive this year for people all over the nation. So expect to pay more for products like squash out of South Florida. Reporting live from Homestead, Hank Tuster, Channel 4 News.
Gee, Hank, that's hard to believe that 50% of produce sold almost anywhere in the U.S. comes from here. So this isn't a problem just confined to the Homestead, South Florida area. It's all up and down the East Coast?
Right. And if you've ever been around the produce business, you'll know that a shortage in one area will drive prices up from virtually everywhere because, for example, the west coast of Florida, the Imperial Valley of California, Yuma Valley of Arizona, they realize all that, and, of course, the prices will then go up. That's how that one works. So, yeah, get ready to cough up a little bit more from the pocketbook there, Jose and Kelly.
All right.
Supply and demand.
I hate coughing up that money.
Well, it's been a couple of really nasty days with Brian.
Nasty wind and rain hitting South Florida, making life miserable, if not inconvenient. Water pumps at work, keeping ahead of the water in this underground parking garage in Coconut Grove. A sewer backed up here. Business bad for this lunch wagon.
I spent over $200 on food, and I think I'm going to have to eat it all.
My backyard is a mess.
And front yards, garbage blown throughout neighborhoods, homeowners scrambling to clean up. The rains came down all night as the storm system hovered over the Bahamas, impacting South Florida. Work halted on this construction site. Getting to work on South Florida's usually clogged roads was an even bigger challenge this day. But the big problem? Things blowing in the wind. Nobody's sitting outside here at Johnny Rockets. In fact, all of their chairs are all over the street. In fact, we'll be good citizens and see if we can pick up a few and let these cars go by. A reminder here that you better buckle down your furniture in the backyard because this is what will happen. It'll be all over the street or your neighbor's backyard. South Floridians need to buckle down for the next day or so. The weather word, more of this to come. In the land where the sun keeps shining in the pouring rain, there's no sun, too much rain, and 63-mile-an-hour wind gusts. In Coconut Grove, workers hustle to keep water out of an underground garage after stormwater backed up in a sewer. All of their chairs are all over the street. Plastic chairs from a sidewalk cafe blew into this street, making an obstacle course for drivers. And for merchants who rely on good weather, Tropical Storm Gordon means more than rain. It means lost profits.
Month is always a real slow day in the Grove, but being that the weather it is like where it is, it's going to be even slower.
And slow is what it is on South Florida highways. Sheets of rain brought traffic to a crawl. Gordon's winds caused this just off I-95 near downtown Miami.
I put the brakes and I complete, and the wind and the car in the front, they keep it going. I completely lost the truck.
Near Fort Lauderdale, high winds knocked down power lines, cutting off electricity to thousands. FPL crews braved the elements to restore service. Even less secure than power lines, trash. Gordon spread plenty of it around in Coral Gables. In South Florida, locals expect powerful storms.
Not this late in the season, but it's part of living here.
Something unexpected. This 10-foot whale swept ashore in Deerfield Beach. Volunteers struggled to save its life, rescuing the whale and taking it to Miami's Seaquarium.
Nasty weather from North Carolina, possibly all the way up to New England. All right, we'll give you the coordinates and we'll check in on our neighborhood network coming up in just a few minutes. All right, Tony.
All right, Brian, thank you. And because of all the standing water, a health alert has been issued for Broward County. Let's bring in Channel 4's Hank Tester live from Miramar with more. Hank?
We've been driving around Broward County for the last couple of hours, and there's virtually water everywhere, and it's a big problem. And that's why the Broward County Health Unit issued an alert. This stuff could be dangerous. Let's take a look. Just walking in the rain might be dangerous. In this Miramar neighborhood, septic tanks covered with flood water, which could be contaminated. Elsewhere in the city,
sewage is overloaded and flowing into the streets in very minor amounts, and we're monitoring that and putting chlorination at the facility to prevent any public health problems.
Residents here have gotten the message.
Said something possibly about putting Clorox or bleach in the water.
The Broward County Health Unit says if there is standing water in areas with septic tanks, stay out of the water. And if you live where there are septic tanks and home wells and standing water, boil drinking water or drink bottled water. That's the Broward situation. From here, it is still a little bit messy. And now I turn to my colleague Ed Odell, who has the Dade County story.
Well, Hank, we've just checked the satellite pictures to talk about where this thing might be going, which is a very interesting thing, too, if it does intensify. All that in just a few minutes. Tony.
Okay, Brian, thank you. Now, Gordon's big rain bands are wreaking havoc with South Florida. The ground is so saturated, the excess water is left standing everywhere. And now there is a health alert out in Broward County. Channel 4's Hank Tester now joins us live from Miramar with more. And Hank, I had a report earlier today that up at Markham Park in North Broward, there was even some raw sewage that had to be pumped out.
Well, that's very possible because septic tanks are inundated by some of this water, especially in this neighborhood where the Broward County Health Authorities say to the people here, keep your kids out of the water because, quite frankly, this water could be dangerous. Let's take a look. Looks like fun on a rainy afternoon, but not a good idea playing or walking in this rainwater.
My kids won't see outside.
This Broward County subdivision just south of Pembroke Road and Miramar has no sewers, septic tanks here. The Broward County Health Unit says this water could be contaminated. Keep the kids out of the water is the word. The Broward County Health Unit issued the health alert. If there is standing water in an area that has septic tanks, keep out of the water. And in areas with septic tanks, home wells and standing water, boil water or drink bottled water. You worry about the water being contaminated?
No, I haven't thought about that until you just said that.
Health department says it could be bad.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
So watch the kids.
Yeah, I will.
Tell them.
I will. Thanks.
The Miramar Public Works Department is keeping an eye on the problem.
We have taking samples of the water in those locations, and we'll be analyzing them for bacterial pollution. And if something comes of it, we'll be giving advisories as appropriate.
And Tony, the officials tell me that this water will recede as soon as the entire system is able to take care of this rainwater. It's never been geared to take care of more than about an inch a day, and of course we'll be getting quite a bit more of that up here than just an inch a day, maybe as much as 4 or 5 inches. So it's a real problem. This is going to stick around for a while. Reporting live from Miramar, Hank Tester, Channel 4 News.
And Hank, to compound that problem with the standing water and the temperatures rising, we may hit 87 tomorrow. There's the possibility of now mosquitoes, which makes matters even worse.
Gotcha. Not good.
Okay, Hank, thank you very much. Jennifer?
Well, waterlogged South Florida certainly fared better than one.